That's going to be answered in this Munster Hurling Championship semi-final. Joining me in studio, Tomás McCahey and Pete Finnerty. Looking forward to this one. Tomás, in a word, will it be Clare or Tip?
It's one of the hardest games, I suppose, of the year to call, Michael. If you look at the two games last year and you look at Tipperary and the way they approached the first game, the reverse was the second day out, and Clare won the laurels that day. I think Tipperary might shade it on the basis of having a big game under their belts at this stage against Waterford.
Pete, they're talking all week about great sporting occasion, a load of respect for each other and all that kind of thing. I suspect that's a load of old Blarney as well. They'll tear into each other today.
Absolutely, I'd say that there's no doors in the dressing room at this stage. I'd say both of them brought them with them on the way out. There's great expectations, there's a great hype. You can say what you like about Clare, you can love them or hate them, but they bring something new to the championship. You could put an argument up for Tipperary, you could put an argument up for Clare. I'll go for Clare on this occasion.
OK, the national anthem at Páirc Uí Chaoimh.
Welcome to Páirc Uí Chaoimh here down by the banks of the River Lee. It's a lovely fine day here. Breeze is blowing from left to right. The parade is underway, as you can see, and there are about 40,000 people here to savour the action in the Guinness Hurling Championship. Wonderful banners. Sliabh Mamon. I saw another Clare one there a little while ago saying Ian Paisley is a Clare fan. That's a new one on me, I must say. Let's have a check on the teams then. We'll start with Clare. They've named a very experienced 15 to face Tipperary here. Players who between them have played in 278 championship matches. Davy Fitzgerald is again in goal, the penalty expert. Brian Lohan is now the captain, while Anthony Daly has been showing up prominently in training and starts as usual at left half back. Midfield, well, it's the familiar pairing of Ollie Baker and Colin Lynch. James O'Connor suffered slight concussion in a challenge match with Kilkenny a fortnight ago, but he's in the half-forward line with Enda Flannery and Alan Markham. We're not sure whether Alan is going to play in the corner or on the wing, but there is a late change, and that is that Jerry Quinn, former minor star, plays in place of Barry Murphy. So speculation there that he may play left half-forward, and this 19-year-old could also pop in as an extra midfielder. It's a possible tactic which Ger Loughnane and company may think about for the afternoon. Well, Tipperary select Paul Ormond and Philip Marr in their full back line, but they're still getting to the pace of championship hurling, I feel. John Carroll plays just his second championship game, while in midfield it's Tommy Dunn and John Lahey. Between them they started 49 championship games. Ryan O'Mara selected to play in midfield against Waterford, but switched to the wing early on. He continues in the number 12 shirt. Eugene O'Neill is given the call up to play at right corner forward as a replacement for Liam Cahill, but we may see the former All-Star at some stage, as managers, of course, can now call on 5 substitutes. Alongside me, I've got Liam Griffin. Give us some pointers on this, Liam.
Well, first of all, Ger, I mean, this is the game of the year, isn't it, so far in hurling? Tipperary have had a good preparation. They've had 3 good leading games, and one was the championship game. If they're to win, however, I think they're going to have to move the ball very fast. They need another big performance from Johnny Lahey and from the experienced Declan Ryan, because Declan Ryan will have to curb Shawnee McMahon. Paul Shelley as well at full forward played very well in last year's game with Clare, and Tipperary will depend on him putting pressure on Clare's new captain Brian Lohan. Tommy Dunn, well, Tommy missed a few frees the last day against Waterford.
Bit
And he
untypical,
definitely
really,
can't afford to do that today.
Yeah, that was a bit untypical, really.
It was.
Now, you expected changes and you were not disappointed.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect Clare to start as selected. Jerry Quinn is a great young minor, and I expected he would start, actually, from the word on the ground. I expect to put a lot of pressure on the Tipperary full back line. Philip Maher and Paul Ormond, they'll see them as being vulnerable. Niall Gilligan will be a key man here, together with Eamon Taff. But the midfield is with Baker and Colin Lynch, the most influential part of the Clare team. Clare have only one new player at the back since '95. Does that make them vulnerable, or will that group of backs go on to win All-Ireland? That surely would be unprecedented. This game will tell us a lot.
Indeed it will. Conor O'Connor, who was the All-Ireland final referee last September, takes charge here at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Great atmosphere. Straight away, that's Paddy O'Brien has gone across there to right corner forward, inside towards Eugene O'Neill. That's an early switch by Tipperary, and that is an early point.
Jared, Tipperary are going to have to keep the intensity of Clare early on if they want to stay in it. I really feel it's important that Tipperary this time to get a really good start.
Well, they've got exactly that. Their first point coming after about 20 seconds play. It's Clare who won the toss. They're playing with the wind at their backs for the opening 35 minutes as Tommy Dunn comes forward, strikes this one in. Good work by the goalkeeper, Davy Fitzgerald. Saves some of his best performances, I feel, always when he comes up against Tipperary. Here comes Colin Lynch, trying to get away from John Lahey. The hand pass inside towards Enda Flannery. Cut out well here by Philip Maher. Towards Brian O'Mara. Sean McMahon trying to take it away from danger. Eamon Corcoran in there to challenge, but here comes the new man in, Jerry Quinn. Bit of an open secret, I think, in Clare this week that he was going to be very much in contention for a starting place. Alan Markham's over there. So too is Paul Ormond. And that's going to be a free out. Lively start to the match. Paul Ormond needing a replacement stick straight away. Short one. Dropped into the inside forward line. Brian O'Mara coming, sweeping forward and striking it over the bar. Brian O'Mara from Mullinahone. And O'Mara today playing in his 12th championship match. So it's a flying start by Tipperary. Pressure once again on the tip backs, however. Ormond's over there. That's swept away there by Tommy Dunn, the team captain. Beautifully backed by Anthony Daly. Towards Jamesy O'Connor. Hurley's flying. Still players trying to take possession. Daly's in there. Loves the challenge of the championship. Colin Lynch, nice hand pass outside towards Alan Markham. Playing in the corner as anticipated. Swept away by Paul Ormond. Plenty of assistance back there. It was John Lahey who was fouled. And a free to Tipperary. This to be taken by David Kennedy. Fourth championship match here at Páirc Uí Chaoimh this afternoon. Belted back, but out over the sideline by Anthony Daly. Well, indeed, as we anticipated, Jerry Quinn is the third midfielder for Clare, and going up to mark him is John Carroll. So you've got Quinn, you've got Baker, you've got Lynch in midfield for Clare. That's in towards Paul Shelley, batted away by Brian Lohan, the new captain. Now Declan Ryan. And he's gone charging, and it's going to be a free out for Clare. Well, what a sense of anticipation, as Liam Griffin was saying earlier on. This is the match of the year so far. This was Declan Ryan. He was going straight in there on top of Shawnee McMahon. No question. Free out. McMahon to strike this one from his own 45-metre line. Breeze behind him. Enda Flannery's going in for it. It's away by Kennedy. Left there for Jamesy O'Connor. Blocked down. Flannery again. Looking for space, looking for a little room in which to manoeuvre, and that's just enough. Enda Flannery from Whitegate getting Clare's first point.
Interestingly enough, Gerard, Tipperary or Clare are playing just two in the full forward line, as we said. And in the last two games, Nicky kept a man back when that happened. And this time he sent him out to pick him up in midfield. So we've got 2-on-2 in the full forward line, which should be interesting.
Declan Ryan breaks it down, but only as far as Colin Lynch opens up the broad shoulders. And Brendan Cummins watches it go harmlessly wide. Brendan, who is very definitely now concentrating on his hurling.
Off the camera, Nicky is down instructing the full back line out to try and see what changes they're going to make, but he is pulling John Carroll back and he's sending Paul Armand out again.
Yes, there's a bit of confusion about it.
Tipperary are trying to make up their mind, I think, Gerard, what exactly they're going to do. They're behind the goal now at this stage.
Well, it was a widely anticipated move. Here's Sean McMahon. Tip just ahead. Philip Barr coming across against Eamon Taff. The man who played for 17 minutes, of course, in the 95 All-Ireland final. Scored a goal. That's John Carroll. That is going to be a Tipperary ball.
I would say, Gerard, that Tipperary or that Clare might be trying to capitalise on young Philip Marr. He's just out of minor, but so far he's coping very well.
Sideline ball to be taken by Eamon Corcoran from J.K. Bracken's Templemore. Nicely gathered in here by Daly. Relieved of the captaincy this year, but that was by choice. Colin Lynch towards Eamon Taff, trying to get a prod on that one. The foul has been committed. It's going to be a free into Clare, pushing. Paul Orman looks up to the heavens. So here's a chance then for Clare to draw level. Jamesy O'Connor the taker, and Jamesy puts it over the bar. That's a goal and 121 points now for Jamesy. He's had a very, very fine career. Brendan Cummins. Back by Daly. Ahead by Dunn once again. Eugene O'Neill is in there foraging. Trying to take it forward is Mark O'Leary. Stopped, however. And Clare get it back. And that's a late foul there, and it's going to be a free for the foul on Alan Markham. And the referee has noted the number of David Kennedy. So Clare bring forward Sean McMahon. In championship hurling so far, he's got 46 points. Most of them from frees, but can't start so positively on this particular occasion. This was a late challenge and a late foul there, hence the free to Clare. Brendan Cummins targeting Mark O'Leary at right half forward. Alan Markham's going into challenge. Anthony Daly sweeping it back, but straight as far as John Lahey. Can he make the same impression he made in the match against Waterford? And you can be certain that he's going to be very tightly marked out there. Here he comes again. Big roll of approval, but the ball has got out over the sideline, and it's a line ball to Clare.
Gerard, it's interesting to note that John Carroll is coming back into the middle and he's not following Jerry Quinn. So they're leaving that spare man in midfield, and Tipperary are covering that by having the extra back at the in the half back line.
Referees had a word with Tommy Dunn, also calling aside there, as you see, Anthony Daly. Sideline ball about to be cut in by Frank Lowen. Had a marvellous season last year. That's beautifully done. Broken down by Paul Ormond. Tommy Dunn starting prominently. Daly tries to bat it away. Tip come forward, O'Leary inside here towards Ryan. Still Declan Ryan. And the referee, I think, has whistled. It's going to be a free in. Good work by Declan Ryan. Got Tip's only goal in the 2 matches between these teams this time last year. Made his senior debut for Tip, indeed, back in 1987 here at this venue. Daly committing the foul.
So far, Tip look a little bit sharper, Ger, than Clare, because, you know, there's no question that championship hurling brings you on, and Clare need this match. They're just a little bit behind on the pace at the moment.
Eugene O'Neill taking the free, dropping it over the bar for his 2nd point of the match. It's the player, of course, who scored a goal and a point in the 1997 All-Ireland final against Clare. Davy Fitzgerald with the puck out, batted down by Dunn. Again they take it forward. Inside towards Shelley, watched very closely by Brian Lowen. Mark O'Leary picking it up once again. Brian O'Mara now, looking for another score, and Brian O'Mara floats it beautifully over the bar, and that's his 2nd of the match. Early stages, but he's doing well, and Tip lead by double scores.
Yes, and he's standing well off of Liam Doyle and giving himself a lot of room to play. Liam Doyle was caught for pace a bit last year, and so far Brian O'Mara's got 2 points against the wind.
Comes back towards Colin Lynch once again. Now Jamesy O'Connor. Good work by Corcoran. On its hands and knees that time was Sean McMahon. Tough. Just about doing enough to keep it in play, but it comes back towards Philip Marr. Colin Lynch. Ooh, it was always going to the right of the target.
It's interesting too that Eugene O'Neill has taken the frees today, as opposed to Tommy Dunn. He's taken the first one.
Well, there was an early switch of positions there involving Paddy O'Brien and Eugene O'Neill. O'Neill is top of the left, and O'Brien is top of the right. McMahon and Ryan combining. Liam Doyle getting it away. John Carroll rising up for this one. Comes back once again to Mark O'Leary. Pacey player. Very mobile and very accurate. Mark O'Leary from Kilruan McDonough's. His first point of the match, and Tipperary have a 3-point lead.
And Clare have gone back with a regular full forward line again. Obviously first blood to Nicky in terms of tactics there.
Over the head of David Kennedy this time, inside towards Niall Gilligan. Gilligan, the All-Star, beaten by Lahey. Daly trying to tee it up there for Colin Lynch. Gets it up at the 2nd attempt. Chased by Tommy Dunn. Oh, good vision, well, I thought he was. He was trying to pick out Ollie Baker, but instead it's Brian O'Mara. Beyond Eugene O'Neill this time. Shelley comes racing across. Here comes Brian Quinn. And his captain, Brian Lowen, taking Clare out of danger. Again, it's Philip Marr. He started well against Gilligan. He's pulled down, and it's a free out to Tip. Michael Ryan there in the background, the left quarterback from Upperchurch, Drumban.
There's no question that Tipperary look a lot sharper so far in the game. It's going to take Clare a little bit of time to get into the pace of it, but so far Tipperary are well ahead in terms of freshness.
Well, this was always going to be one of the big questions. Would Clare have that appetite? Here's Sean McMahon. Here's John Lahey. He loses the stick. Pushed over by Jamesy O'Connor. Free to Tipperary. Well, I think Ger Loughnane will realise the threat that John Lahey poses around midfield if he can really get motoring. Lots of jeering and booing in the background as we watch this in reprise. That was because of the presence of Ger on the field. Switch between Ollie Baker and Enda Flannery.
You notice in the last ball, Ger, when it was played back to Ollie Baker, it went over his head, and he actually didn't go back for it. He looked a little bit surprised by it, a little bit sluggish, so maybe he's taking a bit of while to adjust.
Dunn hitting the free, but he's hit it wide. Well, Tip will be hoping that he is able to get each and every one of his frees from now on. Missed quite a lot in the league final. This is back to Paul Ormond. Tip just settling that little bit better in the match. And he's got a mountain of work to do to get his team playing with the same fluency that they've played with in recent years. Daly inside, that time towards Ollie Baker. Ollie now on the 40. Brian Lowen batting it out towards Brian O'Mara. Another scoring chance for Tipperary, and for Brian O'Mara, who is flying.
Liam Doyle is in real trouble on Brian O'Mara, there's no question about it. His 3 points got in a very short space of time.
That's 3 points from 3 chances. Doyle struggling to get even close enough to him to get in a challenge. And Tip have made an excellent start. Comes back once again towards Anthony Daly. Well, in spite of the best efforts of Eamon Chaff, no way was he able to keep that in play. Tipperary fans down there at what you might now call the tunnel end of Páirc Uí Chaoimh. 4 wide so far for them. It's targeted towards O'Mara once again, comes bouncing off his shoulder. Colin Lynch back there, as industrious as ever, only as far as Tommy Dunn. It's a great ball. Declan Ryan, plenty of space, turning around McMahon, going this way and that, and finally driving it over the bar. And it's an excellent point by Declan Ryan.
The entire half-forward line has now scored forward points between them.
That was a beautiful pass. Look at the amount of space that Ryan was given, then the control, then the composure, and he finally drove it over the bar. Mind you, he did take a few steps too many. But they get away with it. Back there is Brian Quinn for Clare. Eamon Corcoran trying to get that ball away. Gilligan trying to get it in. David Kennedy swiping it out to John Lahey. Towards O'Mara. Sean McMahon is shouldered. Back to Brian Quinn. Driving it in towards Markham. And that was Ollie Baker coming steaming through, and he's been tripped. And it's going to be a free in for Clare. Well, I'm sure it's a match which is being enjoyed by lots and lots of people. Con Begley, Mr. Bishopstown, GAA, he's wished well. And John English from Saggart has been associated with Tipperary teams down the years. Watching now as James O'Connor puts it over the bar for his second pointed free of the game. And just 4 between them. So midway through the first half, beautifully poised. This is towards Declan Ryan. Comes back to Colin Lynch, however. Clare midfielder trying to provide that ball in towards Gilligan. Runs on for Taff. Gilligan still around, but so too is Eamon Corcoran. Enda Flannery here, rising up with Tommy Doyle. Flannery now operating in midfield for Clare. Liam Doyle back there chasing. Comes out to the dashing James O'Connor. Nice ball inside to Colin Lynch. Looking for support. Surrounded by 4 Tipperary players. Eamon Corcoran needs assistance. Back to David Kennedy. And back to the man who's waiting for the pass, anticipating. John Lahey. Towards Shelley. Breaks it down to himself, trying to spoon it through. Brian Quinn once again, and he's on his knees. Fouled by Paddy O'Brien. And it'll be a free out to Clare. This is what happened here just moments ago. Brian Quinn tripped by O'Brien. The man taking the free, the man who is the second highest goal scorer, starting today for Clare. Gilligan and Markham have 4 goals each, but the goalkeeper, David Fitzgerald, has got 2 himself from penalties. That's a good save. Liam Doyle. Played inside towards Gilligan once again, trying to get a stick to it. Stopped by Brendan Commons. Chased here by Jerry Quinn. Well, it's a big ordeal for any 19-year-old to come in and play his very first championship match, but that's what's been asked of Jerry Quinn this afternoon. Down by McMahon again, stopped here by Marr. Into space, Taff can't hold it. David Kennedy has. Kennedy still on his hands and knees. Out to Ollie Baker. Beautifully played back in. It's off the post and it's over the bar. Anthony Daly, the point scorer. And there's a switch there, as you can see, in the Clare team. David Ford from Ogonnelloe coming in here as a replacement. And Eamon Taff is the one who makes way. Taff from Tubber. His game just lasted 20 minutes. Here comes O'Mara. He's had a fabulous start to this game. And that one, just as I say it, putting the kibosh on him, just going inches to the right. Davy Fitzgerald about to puck this one out. Down towards Markham. Jamesy O'Connor battling. Markham's there as well with the shoulder on John Leahy. Comes back to Jamesy O'Connor. Inside towards Ollie Baker. Tricky situation, but again it's Marr who's out quickly. Very dominant figure at full-back, even though he's a very young player. David Kennedy. Broken down by Brian O'Mara. In over the head of Shelley. Should be the goalkeepers. Great clearance by Davy Fitzgerald. John Carroll breaking this one down in the half-back line. End the Flannery. Comes across towards Colin Lynch. It was never going to be an easy one to take. Shouldered by Leahy. Fed outside to Markham. A real hit and hope one by the Clare number 12. But that now becomes their 5th wide of the match.
I can tell you that time that Colin Lynch felt that shoulder from John Leahy. He got a fair shoulder, but he felt it.
Yes, John Leahy is a very strongly built athlete. Sherlock Nan down in front of us here is out by the sideline here, still issuing the instructions, trying to get his team motoring as he would wish. Niall Gilligan floating it in, and he has put it to the left. And things are not going well for his team so far. This was the Colin Lynch shoulder, I think, a little while ago here. There we go. I think he would protest that it wasn't quite shoulder to shoulder.
Philip Marr is having an excellent game at full-back, and trying to exploit him hasn't worked. In fact, it's backfired at this point in time. The Tipperary full-back line are doing very well so far, but Clare are getting to the pace of the game a bit better, I think, at this stage, Gerald.
Well, the first 20 minutes or so has largely belonged to Tipperary, and you just get that feeling that the preparatory match they had against Waterford has stood to them, plus, of course, place in the league final just a matter of some weeks ago. John Carroll's back there. Markham trying to pick this ball up, fed inside towards Ollie Baker. And again they drop it short into the goalkeeper's hands. Brendan Cummins with a huge clearance. Daly drops it down. Running towards this one here is David Ford. Quinn trying to get the ball in. Marr trying to get it out for Tipperary. Still they go forward. Jerry Quinn fed outside. An opportunity for David Ford, and he's buried it into the back of the net. A goal coming for the substitute, David Ford, after 23 minutes of play. Well, just when we thought that they were looking a bit of sluggish and out of sorts, they've got it together beautifully. And it was fed inside, and a rasping shot by David Ford. Enough to bring Clare right back into the match once again. So the teams are level for the second time.
I think you'll see a different Clare now, Gerard. I think that will settle them down, you'll find.
Here comes Gilligan. They look for the lead here. but he's put it wide.
That was an excellent goal and well taken by Clare. Good hand pass and a very good finish by David Ford. Kept his head, just stuck it in the corner of the net. That's a very good goal. It's exactly what Clare needed. It's exactly what this match needed.
So the teams are level. Shawnee McMahon coming out here at the right wing back position, but beaten for pace here. Here's John Lahey. This is a great chance. Not the kind of chance that John Lahey is going to spurn. His first point of the match.
You have to have great admiration for John Lahey. He's a great player. He's been a wonderful player for a long time. You love him, you hate him, but he's one of the great heroes of the game for the last number of years.
Well, here comes Lahey once again. In full cry. Got enough space and a wonderful direct shot.
And a great thing for youngsters to watch, able to strike the ball off his left hand on the move. A great skill.
Substitution for Clare. They've brought in Richard Woods in place of Liam Doyle, and that is because of the excellent work of O'Mara. This is Paul Ormond. So that is the substitution that we mentioned just moments ago. Richard Woods coming in for just his second ever championship match. Coming into the picture now is Paul Shelley. A little off balance as he hit that one over. And indeed he's stripped by Sean McMahon, I think it is, as he was coming away from the action immediately after that. The referee says play on. Jerry Quinn. That's a great score.
Terrific point for a youngster just last year a minor. He was a terrific minor, played centre-back, centre-forward and centre-field as a minor. That's a great point for him to get in Thurles, in Cork against Tipperary.
Well, it's his first ever point in the championship. First ever match as well. And the teams are level once again for the third time. Sean McMahon rises up for it. Daly comes across. It's strange to see that familiar half-back line broken up already because of the excellence of Tipperary. But it's evenly poised. Colin Lynch firing it, but firing it well to the left. 8 wides now by Clare.
It's surprising that they're not playing the ball in a little bit more to the inside, but earlier I suppose we're under pressure. Now, you know, the team is definitely more on song, so it might be more profitable not to hit such wild wides.
Place, of course, in the Guinness Munster Hurling final against Cork at stake. That will be at the beginning of July. That's a lovely catch by Richard Woods. Well, he's a player who's had to take his time. He's, as I say, just playing in his second championship match. He's been patient. David Ford has come off the bench as well, and that one has also gone left.
I'm delighted to see Richard Woods. He's son of a good friend of mine and from the Newmarket and Fergus Hurling Club I played with for years. They've had a bad time in Clare for a few years. I was delighted to see Richard make his start. I was surprised Liam Doyle stayed so long, to be honest with Ger, the way he operates in the line. He normally doesn't leave you there too long if you're not operating well.
And nowadays, of course, it's such a new situation when you can bring on 5 substitutes. Here comes John Carroll. Tip looking for another score. Mark O'Leary racing in on the goalkeeper. Good clearance by Davy Fitzgerald. Batted down by Eamon Corcoran. Tommy Dunn coming forward. Tangling with legs, and the referee decides to give him a free. And Dr. Jerry O'Sullivan there coming out straight away to make sure that it's not too serious. There was Tommy Dunn going up there, and there was a Clare player who came off second best, and it's Colin Lynch. He's been a wonderful warrior in the colours of Clare over the years.
Yes, but to be fair, I really don't think that was anything deliberate about that. He swung on the ball, he caught him in the tail end of the swing, and I really think it was unfortunate.
This is it once again here. We may just see it.
I think it shows young people as well the value of headgear. I mean, I really think for young players you should try to get used to headgear early on. All these injuries are unnecessary if you wear headgear. It protects your head and it makes common sense. So when they're young, it's a good idea to start young and get used to the idea.
As you know, you won't be allowed to take an under 13, under 14 team training with a ball unless everybody wears a helmet. I mean, that's the law and most common sense as well.
Yeah, but of course older guys have, haven't been used to it, and they feel it's restrictive. So it's important to youngsters to keep their helmets on at all stages. you know, you could miss a game of this importance sometime later by not being used to your helmet. If you look at Tommy Dunn there, he's a helmet on him and a face guard. He's got well protected. It's unfortunate.
Well, keen sports fans, lovers of this game, come from everywhere and anywhere. Saw some people from Galway here. I'm sure with an eye to the progress of both of these sides. Matty Murphy's here. Also saw Jarlath Cloonan.
I see Nicky in here having a word with Johnny Lahey and have time for a laugh with each other, so that's good to see at least. He mightn't be smiling when it's over, you'd never know. But it's an interesting too, the new setup with Clare. It's sad to see Mike Macdon, I suppose, and Tony Considine, great servants of the game. They give a tremendous innings with Clare, and now you have Gerlach now with a new setup. But those two guys were tremendous people with Clare for the last number of years.
Well, the new men, of course, you mentioned are Cyril Lyons and Louis Mulqueen. I think Ger basically felt the need maybe to freshen things up somewhat, bring some new ideas to training and to team selection. Well, Gerlach now, I think, is very concerned about the injury to Colin Lynch, hoping that it's maybe not a case of mild concussion as well. That free is taken and it's swept in beautifully by John Lahey.
The one and only.
Second point of the match, and Tipperary have a 1-point lead. Enda Flannery bats that one forward. Eamon Corcoran going back, the left half back for Tip. Leaves it there to Ollie Baker, however. David Ford, the goal scorer. Bundled out over the far sideline. It's going to be Tipperary's sideline ball. Taken quickly by Michael Ryan. Eamon Corcoran, 4 minutes to go to the break. Anthony Daly, neatly inside here. Possibilities. Paddy O'Brien striking, and Paddy O'Brien has put that one over the bar.
To be fair, Ger, I really think that Paul Shelley fouled Sean McMahon that time. He hit him in the back as he went for the ball, and a point ensued. Now, the referee was badly sighted, but just from a quick look, I felt he was hit in the back, pushed in the back from behind.
Well, they get away with it. Once again, it is Mark O'Leary. Well, not a particularly good ball forward. The inside forwards will hardly thank him for not giving them any chance whatsoever. But here comes Niall Gilligan, the 24-year-old auctioneer. And he's hand-passed it and he's put it off the goalkeeper's stick and it's gone over the bar. Niall Gilligan from 6 Mile Bridge, tearing in on goal here. Realised it was possibly going to be hooped, hand-passed it, it went off the keeper's stick and went over the bar.
That's legitimate, Ger, once it hits the keeper's stick, is it? You can't hand-pass the score, isn't that correct?
You can't hand-pass the score.
Well, if it hits the... I don't know, I'm not quite certain, but if it hits the keeper's stick, does it make it a legitimate point? If not, you can't hand-pass the score.
Here's Brian O'Mara. First time in by Tommy Dunn. In towards Shelley. Stopped there, however, by Brian Lowen. Anthony Daly getting it out towards Jerry Quinn. Played down towards Colin Lynch, and John Lahey stepping in there, fouled.
There's a couple of heavy tackles gone in here now, one from Ollie Baker on this side, and down the other end we'll see that Paul Shelley is down. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
This was the challenge here, as Ollie Baker came frontally in on John Lahey. Garda based in Ballinasloe, of course, in County Galway.
I think when you see that one again with Ollie Baker, you're going to get that when you come out with the ball in midfield. It wasn't malicious in any way. A good, hardy, strong challenge, but it wasn't malicious in any way.
Paul Shelley, the injured player, playing today in his 14th championship match. Hasn't scored so far this afternoon. Started life, of course, as a cornerback, then later a fullback. So far in championship action, he scored 4 points, and this was the shoulder again of Ollie Baker going straight into the middle of John Lahey. Shelley is up there at full forward. This free to be taken by John Lahey. And it's a huge one. And it's an accurate one.
He stepped into the breach for Tommy Dunn's long freeze and landed 2 out of 2. That's terrific free taking from John Lahey.
1 point from play, 2 from freeze, 3 shots to the target by John Lahey, 3 points. belted down by Richard Woods. But here comes Brian O'Mara, left half forward.
Tipperary are playing with a lot of confidence, it has to be said, Gerard. They're not overawed by the occasion, not overawed by a Clare team with a lot of big names, and they're playing well. But Tipperary, Clare, the longer it goes, the more they're going to play themselves into this game, I feel.
Remember, it's Enda Flannery and Colin Lynch in midfield. Baker still on the 40. Richard Woods has come in for Liam Doyle. David Ford's in the action as well. And here he comes. Michael Ryan's doing a match-up with him. Baker back towards Lynch. He's got assistance outside if he needs it. David Ford was available. Played in towards Gilligan. And in the end, it's an easy one for the goalkeeper, Brendan Commons. Great catch. Quinn goes forward from right corner back. And he's played it over the bar. Brian Quinn has just got his first ever point in Championship hurling.
This is slightly backfired on Tipperary. Eugene O'Neill has come out and his man gets the point.
So a point separating the teams. Tip still in front. That's caught there by Jamesy O'Connor. Jamesy with 2 frees so far, 2 points. Philip Barr without the stick. Gilligan comes raiding. Michael Ryan back there, trying to get the ball away. Troubled, put under pressure. And David Kennedy, I think, was the last man to touch it, and it's gone for a 65. The game's first. But there was incessant pressure there on the Tipperary rearguard.
You still sense, Gerard, that Clare are coming much more in control of the game than they were earlier on. That lack of match practice early on, certainly, that seems to be just dissipating as the game progresses.
So Sean McMahon missed one a little while ago. And this time he's made absolutely sure. That's 1 from 2 for Sean McMahon. But another beautifully taken free from long distance in the championship. So the manager pacing up and down the sideline here. Player who graced the scene here so many times in the past. Teams are level now for the 4th time. Jamesy, inside towards Alan Markham. John Carroll ruggedly taking it out of that half-back line as far as Tommy Dunn. Great sense of anticipation when he takes that ball out. And he's fouled. And it's a free to Tipperary. Last man up there was Alan Markham from Kilmaley.
You notice as well that Tipperary are well able to withstand the physical strength of the Clare players today. They're standing up and they're taking the hits and they're, you know, hitting back legitimately, and they're standing up. And that's a difference between them and the replay game last year.
Well, they're hitting hard, but it's a very fair match.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, can John Lahey put another one over the bar? He got one from this distance into the wind a little while ago. This one is going to drop a bit short in towards Shelley. They raid once again. Eugene O'Neill. Paddy O'Brien was about, but so too was Anthony Daly. There were doubts about whether he'd keep his place in the Clare team this year, last year, and I suppose the year before as well. But he always comes good in the championship. The referee blows the whistle. Daly and company have come back strongly. They were under a lot of pressure from Tipperary in the earlier stages of the match. Clare had 22 scoring chances. Tipperary had 16. And at Porky Queeve, down by the banks of the River Lee, in the Guinness Munster Hurling Championship, it is Clare 1-8, Tipperary 11 points, level.
Personnel, no change to personnel, the team lines out as we have.
Were you concerned? You were the better team in the first half, you're still level on the scoreboard.
Well, I think it's good to go in at half-time after playing against the Breeze at level terms. But the second half, it's the time now to punch it home. So we're delighted at half-time to be level, but we know we're in for a hell of a game in the second half.
I worry about the full forward line. You didn't test David Fitzgerald in the first half.
Well, I think the quality of ball wasn't good. We're hoping to improve that now.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Tony.
Second half is underway, and it will be, as you know, Tipperary will have the Breeze behind them for the second 35 minutes. David Ford, the goal scorer after 23 minutes, trying to set something up here. Alan Markham trying to come forward with it. Jamesy O'Connor's over there as well. Once again, David Ford, head down. Almost heading into a cul-de-sac. Looking for the opening point of the second half. However, he's denied by John Carroll. Tommy Dunn, sweeping clearance. Beautifully downfield towards Paul Shelley. Yet to score in the match. And the ruggedly built Shelley wins himself a free. Gets about his business straight away. Lots of hard knocks been given and taken.
Be a pity now if this game is going to kind of get a little bit hot, I suppose, but you will see a little bit of guys tussling for possession at this stage, I suppose, and it's to be expected. There's a lot at stake here.
Eugene O'Neill taking the free. 2 points so far in the match. One of those was from a place full. And this has gone over the bar.
I'm still going with Clare, Ger. I suppose blood is thicker than water.
Well, with my throat today, I'm drinking plenty of the stuff. Water, that is. Here comes Brian O'Mara. Getting away from Quinn. But he has fluffed the opportunity. He's missed a few, but he did get 3 very, very good points in the first half. He's 3 out of a total of 6. Easy one here for Paul Ormond. Turning into the challenge of Niall Gilligan. John Lahey, what an operator. Colin Lynch. Bandage taken from the head. That's back towards Markham, now towards Jamesy O'Connor. Bats away there off the stick of David Ford. Ollie Baker's coming forward as well. Next in is Niall Gilligan. And still we look for the score at the start of this second half. Well, we've had one so far, but
you know,
2 minutes of action.
Jared, the Tipperary full forward line is staying in a lot more now, and Paul Shelley's gone right onto the edge of the square.
This is to Declan Ryan. Right, O'Mara was trying to get the ball in. Back there helping out is Alan Markham. Forward there beautifully by Colin Lynch. That's a great catch by Paul Ormond. Driven away downfield.